Welcome to The Queen's Lair, a lifestyle podcast. Get inspired by our latest tips and information about small business, entrepreneurship, natural hair, travel, food, and even relationships. Stay tuned for another great episode. I am your host, Renee Patrice. Hey everybody, thank you so much for tuning into my podcast. Thank you so much for all the support from all of our folks in the United States and also abroad. It's such a tremendous feeling to see how this podcast has expanded and the fact that we have people listening literally from almost every continent all over the world. It's inspiring to me to know that we are inspiring other people, and the emails that I get and the messages, the DMs, and oh my goodness, it's almost kind of overwhelming sometimes, especially during this holiday time. And I got some questions, and I also had a conversation this week with a friend of mine as well, talking about dealing with difficult family and toxic scenarios during the holidays. So I said, you know what, that would make a really great topic for my podcast. And I said, you know what? Let's do that. So let's kind of go over some things. And I think all of us have been in the situation where we've dealt with toxic people or negative people that just are constantly negative. They never have anything positive to say. Now, there's a difference between someone who's very firm on what they say and they come with solutions and they explain to you the details of things. And that's very different than being toxic. I think that folks that are able to be firm on where they stand and, being very assertive about the way that they think about something with explanations behind it, I think that is a very tough position to be in. I know that's something that I deal with, like in my personal relationships, friendships, also as far as my business and things like that. Any clients know that I'm very firm with them and I tell them exactly, what it is. But I always come with solutions and I always explain to them, well, here's the reasoning behind XYZ situation, and sometimes they may get a little upset about it, but when they think about it, mull it over for a while, and they come back and they're like, you know what, I never really thought about that. Okay, and then we're able to kind of move forward into our next projects and things like that. But I think it's always good to have solutions and, being very firm. I think a lot of people tend to be kind of wishy-washy about where they are because they don't want to upset people. For me personally, I can only speak for myself. I'm not afraid to upset or rock the boat, but I also don't rock the boat without a solution, without resolution, without some sort of tangible answers for things. And anything that I don't have resolution for, tangible answers, I don't even speak on it until I do. So talking about toxic people are like, well, how do you know if the person is really toxic? Well, there's some things that you can actually look out for when dealing with toxic people. These are the folks that try to manipulate you. They're always trying to control you some type of way, whether it's through words, whether it's through, leverage or power in a situation, whatever the case may be. They are constantly very needy. They have these demands all the time. They need your attention. If they're not getting your attention, they're going to keep hitting you up in different ways to get your attention. They talk down about themselves a lot, and you would think, well, maybe that's a self-esteem thing. Well, that is kind of part of it. If you run into somebody who is so critical of themselves, they don't see anything really positive about themselves, their look, or what they're doing. They could be in the best position ever, have the greatest job, whatever, money, they're doing well, they got a roof over their head, but they will find something negative all the time, Also, folks that in those situations, in that toxic, whatever it is, and you say to them, well, let's see how we can help you. And they're resistant to help. They're resistant to change. They're resistant for like a third party, whatever it is, therapy, counseling, whatever. That also contributes to toxicity as well, because you're not even willing to sit down and say, you know what is going on with me? Let me just humor people, and let's just see if there's something that I'm doing that is causing all of this fallout. Then there are the toxic people who are just disrespectful. Sometimes you got those family members that you meet up for Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, whatever. Oh, when you get married? Oh, you don't have any kids yet? Or what are you doing? You got all of that stuff going on. And it's like, wow, I'm here to just spend time with family. I'm here to just, see the kids, the grandkids, the cousins, and all that sort of stuff. And they come into a situation and quote unquote try to put you on blast. Everybody's eating dinner, enjoying the food, and here they come, with the foolishness questions and things that are even very personal. That definitely contributes to being a toxic person. Now, I will say this: ways that you can avoid things like this. First of all, be very aware of who is around you. Be aware of the people who just absolutely drain you to the core. The folks that just take from you and take from you and take from you emotionally, but they never have anything positive to pour into you. If you are constantly pouring into other people and giving them solutions and giving them explanations and helping them and this and that, and they can't do the same for you, and this is in personal and business, that is a toxic relationship, because you can't be in a one-sided relationship. And I don't care if it's a friendship, I don't care if it's your spouse, whatever. You can't have someone that completely keeps draining you, but where do you go when you need to unload? Especially if they're always unloading on you. So that too leads to toxic relationships, toxic encounters. Okay? Now, dealing and talking with toxic people is very, very tough. There's always going to be a level of tension sometimes. Part of it could be jealousy as well. I think there's a level of jealousy in there as well. You have to be very strategic when you speak with toxic people. You have to be very firm about what you say. You have to stand by what you say. Don't do the empty threats. Well, I'm going to do this, that, or the other, and you never do. Be very upfront about how you expect to be treated. Be very upfront and speak and stand on what you say. It's nothing like empty threats and you never come through with, if you say you're going to remove yourself from a situation and you keep putting yourself in that situation, well, there's no reason for them to change because you keep enabling them. So you have to cut the toxicity off at the root. Always protect yourself and make sure that you are not forcibly putting yourselves in those positions. Now, some people may say, well, what if the toxic person is my boss? Well, that is a little bit of a more difficult situation because you may need that job. But here's the thing. You cannot control how everybody else acts, but you can control how you act. And sometimes the way that you respond to toxic people or negative type personalities, the way that you respond will also trigger how they respond back to you. So sometimes you can't get riled up. Now, if somebody's just being flat out disrespectful, then walk away. Just remove yourself from the situation, But if the person, if there's a level of, back and forth and give and take and you're speaking, just make it very clear what you're going to stand for and what you're not going to stand for. And it doesn't have to be done in a nasty way. Just make it very clear what you will tolerate and what you will not tolerate. because toxic folks feel that they can say whatever, they blow through the room, say whatever they want to say, and then when it's time for you to speak and it's time for you to make your point, they don't want to hear it. That's unfair. That's extremely unfair. So in situations like that, if it really gets to the point where it's just unruly, then you must walk away. You absolutely must walk away. Okay? But the one thing that I will stress is think about what it is that you are doing and think about what it is that you can do to change your reactions. Because again, you can't change other people. You can't change how they react, but you can change how you deal with them. And hopefully that will be in a more positive manner. It will evoke a positive response. But again, if it gets to the point where it's just absolutely unbearable, then you have to start making decisions about walking away. That includes your job, that includes relationships, all of that. Make your plan and do what it is that you need to do. Self-care and self-love and respect is paramount. So as we go into this holiday season, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, or even any event, it could be a wedding, it could even be a funeral, a family reunion, whatever it is, especially when you're dealing with the gatherings of your coworkers at holiday events, family events, whatever it is. If that toxic situation is going to take you out of character and make you be a person who you should not be, remove yourself from that situation. You may not need to go to the family reunion this year. You may not need to go to the Christmas event this year. Do something in your own home with your own immediate, family, your spouse, child, whatever the case may be. Go to your in-laws. If you're used to going to your house and your mother is a toxic person or your father is a toxic person, go to your in-laws this year. It's okay. It is okay. Self-care, self-preservation, it's a thing. And it's a beautiful thing. So again, toxic folks, take yourself out of the situation if you absolutely have to. Never let anybody take you out of your character. I don't care who it is. And if the situation is not going to be a positive one and it's going to have you coming back from vacation more stressed than when you left, you may want to sit that one out. It's all right. There are many more Christmases to come. Many more birthdays and Thanksgivings and all sorts of other events to come. Never put yourself in a situation that is going to take you out of your character. So, thank you guys for tuning in to this episode. I definitely wanted to address this because I got a lot of questions. For some reason, I got quite a few emails. It's like, how do you deal with, toxic people and in business and in family and all that sort of stuff, especially around the holidays. So I said, this is a great topic to cover. So just be mindful of how you react, because how you react, that's the only person that you can control is yourself. Thanks again for tuning in, you guys. This is Renee Patrice. You are listening to The Queen's Lair. I truly appreciate the support again. Next episode, I think I'm going to do kind of like a rundown report on all of the different and new countries that we have tuning in. So we'll have a new episode in a few days. Thanks again for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. Enjoy your holiday time, and we will talk soon. If you want to follow me on social media, at Onyx Queen Media on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Have a great holiday, you guys. Hey, Naturalistas. Our 6th annual Blackberry Naturals Spring Brunch is coming on March 21st, 2020. This is an exclusive brunch for ladies who want to meet, greet, learn, and shop with our hand-picked VIP vendors. Come and recharge your spirit for Women's History Month. We will be honoring powerhouse female bosses. So bring your business cards and come network with us. Your registration includes a beautiful Apple brunch, branding roundtable. We're going to shop, we're going to meet, we're going to learn. A wonderful swag bag, free parking. You got to make it. We're going to be in Dunwoody, Georgia. Join us. Register now. www.blackberrynaturals.com. See you in the spring.